What is indeed going on, people? This is John of Pitney, and welcome back to another sports reaction. Once again, we discussing the Chicago Bears, and they will be taking on the Cincinnati Bengals. Of course, last time we did know that the Chicago Bears did get their ass handed to them last Sunday, 34 to 14 to the Los Angeles Rams. And of course, Cincinnati is coming off a victory against Minnesota Vikings. Even though they should have blew Minnesota out, Vikings was able to climb back in and also just give them a run for their money. Made it to overtime, and Cincinnati was able to come out with the victory 27 to 24. So, of course, the Bears did not look good that first game, especially in that first half, especially the first quarter. They looked it very ass out. The offense was able to move the ball, but the defense just seemed like they wasn't ready to play, unprepared in every type of way possible, but they did get it together in the second quarter, make some stops, and even was able to score a touchdown towards the end of the half. But of course, we know exactly what happened after that. LA Rams was able to put up 21 points in the second half, and the Bears was only able to put up a touchdown. So that ended, and just the Bears getting their ass handed to them. But of course, we do know that the Cincinnati Bengals is not as bad as they were um, last year because Joe Burrow is 100% healthy, and they seem to be a little bit more enthusiastic this year, starting off 1-0 for the year, and of course the Bears 0-1. And and I just heard an interesting stat about Matt Nagy. Basically, he is 1-3 in just openings for the season. He would have been 0-4 if the running back last year from Detroit Lions would have caught that goddamn pass. Then, of course, Matt Nagy would have started the season out 0-4. We can't have players doing dumb shit. This dumb shit in this game, of course. But as we all know that we can't have those players doing that dumb shit. Eddie Jackson seems to be a little bit overpaid as of right now, just based on everything that's going on. But basically, let's get to the keys of the game so far for both teams. Of course, Cincinnati, the main thing they have to do is continuously ride Joe Burrow. That offense seems to be very good. It might not be the best, but they definitely is not the worst. They're able to move the ball up and down the field and able to put up points. Now, their defense may still be in question, especially allowing Minnesota to come back after being up at one point 21-7 majority of the game, and then allow Minnesota to come back and score two touchdowns and a field goal before they was able to seal it. But I do believe that Cincinnati does have a great chance to win this game against the Bears, and the Bears' chances of winning this game can be very slim. Why? Because it's already constant injuries to that offensive line. There was three offensive tackles, left tackles last game that wind up playing. Jason Peters wound up getting hurt. The news came in that Larry Bourne will be gone with a high ankle sprain for the next 4 to 6 weeks. So yes, the Bears have is missing a lot of key guys already on that offensive line, and it seems like the Bears drafting Tevin Jenkins was just absolutely horrible. So yeah, it's going to be real tough. But one of the first keys to the game for the Bears is also just that defense. That defense has to play more consistent. Sean Desai has to do exactly what he's supposed to do and put the players in the right position to actually win the game, because last time it just seems like it just wasn't what it was. Same goes Andy Dalton. We can't have him doing dumb shit. Of course, we can't have Andy Dalton doing dumb shit. But all Andy Dalton can do is work with the plays that he's given. That mainly goes down to Matt Nagy and his play calling, constantly calling 5 yard passes, 6 yard passes. Only one pass that went downfield, and that wound up being 19 yards. Every pass after that was 10 yards or less. So yes, the Bears is last already in the NFL in terms of throwing passes at least 15 to 20 yards down the field. They only attempted one pass down the field, and that was completed. Other than that, things just really not looking good for them. And my original prediction was that the Bears was going to stomp out Cincinnati, but because how bad the Bears seems to be playing, even though it's just one game of the season and they can easily just turn it around, it's not looking good. It's not looking good because the play calling on both ends of the offense and the defense is just has been petrified. You know, Matt Nagy not running David Montgomery consistently like he's supposed to. It seems like everything is just going to go downhill from there if Matt Nagy continues to be the play caller, and if he does continue to be that, continue to call the same goofy ass plays. Kenyon Perry, salute. What's going on, bro? What's going down with you, man? But man, I don't know, man. Cincinnati seems to be a very good team this year. Even though it's just one game, but now I'm not predicting for them to even make the playoffs. But they're gonna bring it to a lot of teams this year, especially if Joe Burrow is able to stay healthy. And with the Bears offensive line looking very inconsistent, shit, they liable to make Cincinnati Bengals defense look like the '85 Bears defense, especially just constantly being attacked, or the quarterback being attacked almost every goddamn play. Bengals offensive line is horrible. They gave up 5 sacks last game. That would be a key thing here. Yeah, there is a key thing, but the Bears offensive line also gave up 3 sacks last week. And it could have been a lot more than that if Andy Dalton was not able to escape the pocket at those times and was able to run and get a few yards. The defense will have to play lights out if we're going to win. Absolutely. That's the reason why the defense is the first key to the game. That defensive efficiency has to improve constantly because they are ways away from their 2018 defense. I know a lot of people like to talk about the 2018 defense, but that's over with. You know, it's 2021, 2022 season, and the Bears players have constantly gotten older. They slowing down. Khalil Mack is not even looking the same so far this year. Of course, people can constantly tell me it's just one game, but the one game can tell you a lot. It can tell you a lot of what your team gonna go through as it is now, and with Andy Dalton at quarterback, and also Matt Nagy calling the plays, that's putting us in a huge handicap as of right now. And yeah, Cincinnati Bengals gave up 5 sacks, but they still scored 24 points. Bears gave up less sacks than that, but and still only scored 14. So and gave up 34 points. So that's why I'm saying that Cincinnati Bengals definitely have a very good opportunity to steal this game against the Bears and leave the Bears high in the dust, starting the season 0-2. Go and then the following week after that, of course, the Bears have to take on the Cleveland Browns. So it's going to be a very rough setting for our Bears. But the next thing that we definitely have to do, of course, y'all see it right here, is better play calling. The play calling has to be a lot better at both ends because once again, Matt Nagy not setting Andy Dalton up and put him in the best position to succeed, and also leaving David Montgomery out to dry. There is no reason that David Montgomery shouldn't have had at least 25 to 30 carries in that game. Matt Nagy always got a habit of after a very big run, now he want to go pass happy. There was no reason for Andy Dalton to have to attempt almost 40 passes, 38 passes in that game. I do know that for a fact. As for the defense, we can't have players doing dumb shit, leaving guys wide open and dropping interceptions. Exactly. Well, it's been a constant thing that's been going on after the 2018 season. Since 2019, the Bears have dropped hell of interceptions. It's like their hands is getting worse. So I really don't know what the hell the issue is with that, but it seems like it's getting worse and worse. And missing Kyle Fuller definitely showed last week, and it's going to show again in this week. But the thing is, that can mask that real very well if Sean Desai is able to call better plays and the players is able to execute those plays a lot better as well. So it goes hand in hand. Also, Matt Nagy just make sure to run David Montgomery multiple times. Make sure you run him more than 25, 30 times, because if not, David Montgomery is going to be ineffective. Yeah, he did run for 100 yards last game, but it still was not enough because once again, you're leaving him out how to drive. You got to keep that man running, because that Cincinnati defense, even though they is not the best, they still have enough players out there that is fully capable of making plays regardless. This is still the NFL. Even the average players is still world-class athletes. So I don't care what nobody says. They can still come in here and steal this game and possibly blow out the Bears if the Bears do not come to play, because last game they was very inconsistent, did not look prepared. It looked like they were still damn near in preseason mode. So that's one of the main things to look out for. I got my purge mask next game. Butters. I'm out. Mine's already here. Mine's already here. My purge mask already here. So I'm already on some bullshit myself. So it is what it is. But as of right now, things. Joe Burrow's looking excellent out there. His play calling is good. It seems like he got all the players he needs on offense. Just now they need to get that defense together. And Cincinnati can mess around and be a very good team in the near future within the next 2 or 3 years. So as far as we know, next year Cincinnati can be in the playoffs, and the Chicago Bears can damn near be at the bottom of the barrel, especially where this team is right now is reconstructing. I got a better one that lights up. Okay, Butters. Okay, Butters. Of course you do. But Jamar Chase, smash that like button. Exactly, exactly. People, make sure to smash that like button. Also, if you are a new viewer or listener, make sure to like and subscribe. I do pregame videos every week. Also do sports hangout every Wednesday. It just started, and also doing the halftime shows. And I probably just be going live a lot more instead of just making pre-recorded videos, because it seems like a lot of people rather prefer the person to be talking and you see them actually talking it in, instead of just seeing pictures and everything else. But yeah, man, just I don't know, man. The Bears is just in a frenzy right now, and it's gonna be a long 17 game season. Of course, it is 16 games left, but I don't know, man. It's just gonna be very rough. And the next one too, more energy. The Bears need to have way more energy, because it seems like for some goddamn reason, man, it seems like for some goddamn reason, they just did not have that energy. What's going on, KO? Hey, my fault, bro. After that Bears game, I didn't even see your text message. I was so goddamn irritated. I think I put my phone on silent because I just did not want to hear the noise. I didn't want to hear nothing. My family was calling in talking about the game. I didn't even want to hear it. I was like, I don't want to hear nothing. By the time I saw your text, I was like, God damn, okay. But it is what it is, though. But anyways, man, the Bears definitely have to get it together. They have to, because if not, it's going to be bad. Hopefully the Bears don't become the new Lions, because the Lions looked good last week. They put up 33 points. Yeah, they gave up 41, but still scoring 33 points is still scoring 33 points. And so far with this Bears defense looking so not lively at all, there's a very strong chance. Like I keep saying, people get it, like people need to truly understand like the dire situation that the Bears is in already, like how bad they looked. They looked at like one of the worst teams in the NFL, if not the worst team. The only team that actually looked worse than them is in our division. That's the Green Bay Packers. But we know as long as they got Aaron Rodgers, they won't continuously have repeat offenses like that. But guess what? The Bears have Andy Dalton. So that means that there will constantly be repeat offenses as long as he's the starting quarterback. And of course, Justin Fields is a rookie, so we do expect him to go out there and play exceptionally well. But he's still going to have his rookie ways. He's still going to end up throwing that costly interception for no goddamn reason. Probably fumble the ball, not see an open receiver, much like Andy Dalton did all last game. Just not throwing the open man, and then it turning into just making it look far worse. Someone seems to be hitting me up, but I'll get to them later. But anyways, man, the Bears definitely have to improve in so many ways. If not, man, it's going to be, a 5-12 season, which that is very miserable to see, and it's not something I'm looking forward to seeing. You know, the Bears do have a decent constructed team. They did improve drastically on offense in terms of the skill position, but that offensive line still looks horribly bad. So things can get far worse for our Bears, but it is what it is. But as of right now, even with all that said, if the Bears do come to play and Cincinnati do fall back to earth, the Bears can still win this game. I got this game so far can go either way. So my prediction is the Bears possibly winning this game 24 to 23. If not, at worst, Cincinnati comes in and stomps out the Bears while the Bears is at home. They whoop the Bears' ass. And this can wind up being another ugly game. And Cincinnati end up winning this game 31 to 21 because Cincinnati has shown that they can put up points. And so far, the Bears offense have shown that they can move the ball. But once they get into the red zone, it can go either way. It's more of a 50-50. So hopefully the Bears can get it together and they play a lot better than they have over the course of time. Mr. YTC, what's going down, bro? How you feeling, man? How you feeling? Just discussing the Chicago Bears and giving out the keys to the game, man. Letting people know what it is, man. Hopefully the Bears can play a lot better because if they don't, by the time our Bears play your Giants, you know it's gonna be a lost goddamn cause and shit. Y'all can make all the goddamn jokes you want to because shit is going to be warranted then. So hopefully the Bears can improve on that level at every phase of the game. The play calling has to improve. It has to be they have to be a lot better on defense. The offense, I believe, will be able to get a lot better, especially when Justin Fields comes in, and they have to provide a lot more energy. Those are the three keys to the game in order for the Bears to be able to win this game against Cincinnati. Because if not, Cincinnati will blow our ass out of the water. I don't care what another Bear fan say. I don't care if they believe that Cincinnati is just that bad. Cincinnati was just that bad last year because Joe Burrow wasn't playing. Before he got injured, you know, they was basically in almost every goddamn game, and they was not playing whatsoever. Coach Butters. You always got something crazy to say. Oh my God. The feeling is mutual. How they're gonna win week 17. It's such a long way away. It really is a long way away, but it can happen just like that before you know it is week 17. Before you know it, it's week 17, the season is over. And like I said before, like my original prediction was the Bears to be uh at worst 7-10, at best 10-7, at best. But based on what I've seen in that first game, you know, a big part of me possibly thought that they was going to lose that game, but I was hoping that they can pull it off just because it is the first week of the season. That is usually when the better teams is still trying to find their way, and and the worser teams that's not as good as them can still come in and steal a victory against them because usually those worser teams is usually better coached, but they just don't have the players to execute. But they can steal a game from a team like that in the first week of the season. Of course, because we saw it with the Raiders. The Raiders beat the Ravens in the first week of the season, and no one saw that coming. And also the Bucks almost lost to the Cowboys. So of course, that's the reason why I did choose the Chicago Bears to possibly win against the Rams. But of course, that didn't happen. But that's long enough for me, people. Get ready to call it a day. But to make sure to like and subscribe to the channel, and if you are already subscribed, just make sure to hit that like button and also just hit that share button and share the video. Just share with everyone. Just keep this channel growing. I'm almost there hitting my goal of 500 subscribers, and then the next goal, of course, after that, is 1,000. So just keep the channel growing, people. I appreciate it. Hold on, let me see what the comment is. Done. Okay. KO, you still here? But it shut up when I talk. All right, people. This is Joe Pitney once again bringing it back to you with another sports reaction. All right, people. Peace out.